So here we go, every single civ from the base game to the DLCs to Rise and Fall, and now Gathering Storm on a giant Earth map in their true start locations. You guys have been bugging me about this for a while now. I've been trying for a couple days to make it work. It doesn't really work entirely, but this is the best I can come up with. I don't think I've ever made a game crash as many times as I've done here. This is definitely not supposed to be the way you play Civ 6, but yeah, this is good enough. Also, just because every civ is here doesn't mean all the leaders are here. I had to leave out some of the alternative leaders because they would have started off in the same exact spot, causing just too much chaos. And yeah, I'm talking about Paris and London. That's the big one. I had to leave out the base game version of those civilizations. We're using Eleanor instead since she's the new person on the block. So she might be talking to herself a little bit here, because she's leading both these places. You also might notice that some of the colors are a little bit weird, and that's because I'm using a mod that slightly tweaks that. Problem was, again, Civilization 6 was giving me so many issues. I was getting so annoyed. Like, all the city banners were coming through transparent, so this was the only way to fix that. Lastly, you might notice that there's no Maori because they start off in the ocean and they can settle anywhere, and that doesn't really work with a game like this. So yeah, I think the modders still have to try to figure that out. But they're gonna be here, just in a different way than you probably expected. I don't think that changes much though, because at the end of the day, I think no matter how many times we do this, Australia is always gonna win, or at least get in the top 3, because they just have too much land all to themselves, and no one, maybe Indonesia after a while, can I guess take them out, but it'd be too late by then. All the natural wonders are in the right location, so we have Mount Everest, as well as I've set disasters to their highest possible. I don't know how many I'm gonna notice of those, but I'll keep my eye out on it. One thing I did pick up on though is the Ring of Fire. There's definitely a Ring of Fire, a lot of volcanoes in the spots you'd expect them, especially obviously in Indonesia, this part of the map. There's pretty much 5 all in a row. Loyalty is turned off just for the capital city, which is kind of what you have to do, specifically in a place like Europe, when you have a lot of settlements kind of just right next to each other. Speaking of that mechanic though, it is going to be interesting to see how certain civs colonize, because obviously that'd be a big factor in stopping some of the crazy stuff, like let's say if someone were to make it to the New World. I mean, even though there's people already here, I guess that'd apply more to if we did like an old world game like we did back in the day. We're gonna need to see a lot of patches before that though. Spain grabbed a coastal city, that's pretty good. That's always kind of a big problem for them because Madrid starts off right in the middle of Iberia. They can get a navy now. And the Dutch are already having some problems. At least they're being attacked by the French as of now. We'll see if maybe the Germans join in. But one good thing I do have to admit is this map. I mean, for someone that doesn't even play, I just kind of watch. This is the greatest quality of life thing I could ever ask for. I should probably just watch the whole thing like this. One nice thing about Civ compared to like Hoi 4 or EU4 is, I mean, there's crazy things that happen in those games, don't get me wrong, a lot of crazy things, but yeah, in Civilization, this shit is just wild. And again, as I was saying, Australia, the only Civ so far, I think it's like turn 10, with 3 cities. And things are only gonna continue to snowball like that. Oh wait, no. A lot of places in North America do as well. So, I mean, that shouldn't be, oh, not Canada though. Come on, guys. This is your first game. Don't embarrass me already. Brazil's probably gonna take over this little city-state, which, I mean, these guys were already in a very unsafe location, just right in the middle of South America. France has settled almost all of France, and a little bit more, and they should be pretty safe getting everything out here in the west. Here's the first free city, which I believe they revolted from Hungary. It's hard to say, because as you probably noticed, all the cities will be accurately named, depending on their location. That's gonna make things a little bit harder on me to try to figure out like who originally settled certain places or not. So yeah, I don't know, I'll try my best. And Russia's already working on walling off all of the east, which, I mean, they do pretty well at since they start with more tiles than everyone else. And we'll have to see if Georgia starts to head up north. I mean, if they just chill in the Middle East, that's fine, but I mean, they could cause a lot of trouble depending on who they attack between Russia or Scythia. The Mongols seem to be kind of doing their own thing. I don't think they will be attacking China or Korea anytime soon, not with this massive desert, but who knows once they get some horsemen. I think Mali just took a city-state as well. They are one of the only to capture something this early on. London is kind of already screwed, unfortunately, because, well, Scotland grabbed Liverpool before they did, so they're pretty much trapped, unless they get to Ireland, which I doubt. Of course. Why am I not surprised? Whenever this happens to Poland, you two always seem to be here. Actually, I think the only 2 alternative leaders here are from India and in the Indian subcontinent, which is good because there's not that many civs that start off in this area. Is someone actually gonna take Afghanistan? Because I mean, not only is it difficult in real life, but this game especially, because of this huge mountain range. France is kicking booty over here. Eleanor is just going nuts. She's clearly invested way more of her strategy into the French. Not so much another place. Germany's gonna take back Warsaw because reasons. They just, they like to do that. In Scandinavia, things seem to be going pretty all right. They both are chill, Sweden and Norway. I think they'll avoid war, but we'll see if that changes. One thing that's not accurate though, which, I mean, shouldn't be too surprising, are the rivers. The rivers are not correctly named. I wonder if we can get that one day. That'd be pretty awesome. Egypt did just finish the pyramids though, so that's enough realism for me. Rome is struggling here though. I mean, they didn't settle enough, and they do start off on the smaller Italian peninsula. They probably should get to Africa. Yeah, it might be too late for that. The Aztecs are playing very aggressive as they just grabbed, what is this, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa, things like that. So that's gonna limit the expansion of the US and Canada, that's for sure. Smart of Nubia to kind of just head towards the south, not grab up more of the river, giving them more of the desert. I mean, in certain situations, that might have been a good idea. Also, Egypt has done the same thing. Skipped over the Sahara and yeah, go for something that's more valuable. Pretty sure Mali's supposed to be like super rich, right? They get a bunch of bonuses that allows them to be super rich. I'm trying to think how we could test that out. Now Spain has made the jump to North Africa. Pretty smart. That should be a good location to maybe attack Morocco. Don't leave these guys here. You might as well just eat them up. Europe is still very much dominated by the French, but the Vikings are over here trying their best to maybe raid some coastlines, something like that. I don't know if they're gonna take the city though. While the two Indias are looking pretty scary. Yeah, I mean, they are not stopping. They pretty much have their entire subcontinent. Maybe just, there's a little bit more land down here. They'll get that soon though. And then there's Australia, which, I mean, again, they are personally my pick. Even though, I mean, this isn't super valuable here. They have plenty of other stuff though. I mean, they can grab this, they can go to the Philippines. Indonesia seems to be struggling, so that, yeah, that's understandable. Luckily, this isn't Krakatoa. I'm pretty sure their entire civilization should be dead if that was the one to erupt. Whoa, okay, wait a second. So the Vikings did somehow take Amsterdam. I don't know if they're gonna keep it. It looks like that is unlikely. I mean, they're being invaded by the French, and maybe England will take a city. Georgia's starting to move up, which, I mean, it might be a little bit too late though. They have another settler coming too. There's not much land, and yeah, Scythia and Russia not gonna be too happy. And who else but the Mongols? The Mongols would be the ones to take Beijing, or actually it might be the Koreans too. No, I'm stupid. The Maori are doing pretty great. I mean, for their circumstances, at least they're still alive. Honestly, I'm just happy Canada's still around. I really thought that the US would just wipe them out early, but no, they're okay, and they do have some snow, which, I mean, they're supposed to like snow. England's making it work. England is making their horrible situation work as they grabbed Iceland, and they actually have a settler out here randomly in Greenland, so have fun with that. I never realized how awesome these Egyptian warriors were. I gotta zoom in a little bit more to just check some of this stuff out. Oh, that's right, I completely forgot about religions. So Egypt is now Confucius. All right, sounds good to me. I want Japan to have a good game because they normally don't do well in Civ. There's not that many tiles on these islands, and I mean, when they do, it's because they get to China. They're not getting to China in this situation though. Oh wow, and I just now realized that Hong Kong was taken. I'm sure by force. It looks like the Koreans got something new. Sweden and Norway are both kind of just sharing Finland, as well as everything just east. You might as well. That's kind of nice of them though. Obviously for this video, I didn't want to include any modded civilizations because one, I just wanted to do like all the official civs, but two, this barely worked. Like, this barely worked. So I'm sure if I used modded civs, my computer would just die. The US is going to be pretty unstoppable now since they have control over Orlando. You know they got some insane warriors down here. I kind of forgot about the Aztecs and their Jaguar warriors. Normally, you know, those are really OP units, but since they started off with no one nearby, they couldn't really utilize this stuff. And at this point, yeah, it's kind of too late. There's definitely some battles going on between the Inca and Brazil. I don't know, yeah, I don't think anything has changed hands just yet, but it might. I'm guessing the French and Romans are pretty good buddies since, I mean, the Romans have a ton of troops just within their lands, and they've been right there for a while now. And the Scottish have made it to Ireland. So, it's safe to say they're gonna dominate more than likely the North Sea, and if they want, they could probably take out Iceland. The Mongols have lost Beijing, and the Koreans have renamed the city. Apparently, I didn't know you could do that. That's a thing, I guess. Well, anyways, that's kind of a big deal. A city-state has been liberated. I didn't think that was going to happen, but all right, it's nice to see that the AI actually does that stuff. And Hungary might be dead. Hungary very much might be just killed here. I think, yeah, Macedon wants to take some stuff over since they only have one city too. You gotta do something. All right, you guys are getting a little too crazy right now. I don't know what Norway's thinking, but I mean, they're doing the right thing. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to, just raiding everything just right here. I don't think they're at war yet though. Hungary's dead, and I believe Greece is next. More than likely, I think the Ottomans are gonna take them over, unless someone gets some other ideas. Persia's also starting to struggle a bit. I'm assuming it's probably because, I mean, they're in a tough spot. They've got a lot of enemies, and I don't think their mountains and hills are really gonna save them that much. I feel like the Cree should have done the best in North America. They had a lot of area to grab up, but they allowed the Aztecs to kind of take up a lot of the states. Spain is just not afraid to settle right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I mean, eventually that's gonna pay off. There's no way they see this uranium here, but all right, good job. The Vikings are just not giving up on Weedland. They need Weedland back, and I think they're gonna get it. More than likely, I don't know, because the French have unlimited amounts of troops nearby. I'm real surprised that Arabia is still around, and they grabbed a third city because, yeah, Persia revolted or something like that. They're always gonna struggle in these TSLs though, because they're just kind of sandwiched in. All right, so bringing back city-states must just be a cool, hip thing now, because yeah, Hong Kong is back once again. I believe it was taken by China. Did China do it? I have no idea. Maybe it was Japan. India seems to be randomly sending an invasion force to Korea, I think. All right, guys, you do your thing. Man, well, there goes Alexander's only conquest. Budapest has now fallen to the French. Not sure how that happened. I think it was through conquest, but Amsterdam was taken back by the Vikings. This is actually the craziest part of the map, I think. I would have really liked to have seen some sort of Scythian-Mongolian wars. That would have been perfect, but I don't know. The Scythians aren't really doing that much, and they're not fully attacking the Russians. Kinda, though. I'm a big fan of the Khmer Empire, which I always think they potentially could do well, although the Chinese grabbed up a lot of southern China. They could have got this land too, and then they could always take out Indonesia. Indonesia is, yeah, they're kind of doomed to struggle. It's safe to say weird stuff is still going on with the AI, as this English settler has been here for centuries, maybe 1,000 years, I don't know. Doesn't want to settle. The Germans are, I believe, invading Sweden. Not sure how that's gonna go, and I don't even know why this war started. Did you not allow them to use your railroads? The biggest miracle of all, though, is that Poland still survives. That is the greatest human achievement, although, of course, things look horrible for them. I love what Phoenicia's trying here. They are going after Athens with just a massive naval invasion, as well as some land troops. That's pretty good. This actually looks like it's gonna be successful. I feel like if any city-state's gonna survive here without having to be revived, it might be these guys, since Egypt or the Romans really aren't building a navy. Oh, Spain better start to worry. Spain better start to definitely worry, because now that the French have a foothold in Iberia, and actually there's a nice little road headed right towards their capital. Okay, yeah, that is bad news. The US have settled Cuba as they've always wanted, and actually this is a beautiful little canal going straight through. Oh man, I like that. I like what I see from Spain though. Even though they could get taken out by the French, I mean, they're still trying. They're the only person colonizing a different continent, I believe. The Phoenicians have taken Athens, but I don't know if that's gonna last. Also, this city's just been ravaged. You probably don't even want this. And Japan is slowly expanding to a place that actually no one else is. So it is safe that, I mean, they normally do this in Civ AI only games. They grab up like all this stuff in Siberia because no one ever wants this or gets here. Korea's a little focused on China, I think, right now, which is maybe for the best because, I mean, the Chinese are looking great and they can continue to take some of this coastal territory if they want. They might have to attack the Khmer or maybe the Indian soon. And as I thought, I mean, at this point, still no one even comes close to threatening Australia, and there's multiple, I guess, directions they can expand towards. I mean, they don't even have their continent yet, and there's plenty of islands up here, so they're good. Now that I've been doing those history videos, I feel like I can reference like other things. This looks like Charlemagne's empire, like the HRE with French, northern Italian territory. Not so much in the middle, you know, I don't know. It kind of looks like it. Australia has just grabbed a city in southern Persia. Well, okay. I'd imagine that even though, like, Georgia's doing well, I don't think they would survive forever. Or a lot of these places actually wouldn't survive forever because they're just in the middle of the map. They can't really expand, get anywhere. A lot of these civs would die. Anyways, that's about as far as I can get without more of the game crashing. Again, this is deity difficulty, so I mean, this is as fast as the AI can go, you know, getting into the next era and things like that. As you can see, I mean, the AI doesn't expand as well as it did in like Civ 5 still. That's unfortunate. I mean, the French did, but I'm wondering how much they benefited from the loyalty system. I'd imagine a lot. Maybe in the future I'll come back and do something like this again. I especially would like to try the old world game because those are always fun. You just have none of the new world civs, and I probably would have to take loyalty out for that one. I don't know how that would work when it comes to faraway colonies like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And big thanks to FurryCruz, Elphie, Destiny9000, Paintmelikeyoudoyoursheilas, Elijah Senpai, Ruserification, SwissAargau, Maxy G, King Solomon, Ben Moke, Gali, TannerOfNazareth, MisterPERKELE, CooterDonkey, Brandon H, MegaFatBoi, Sneaky G, Jared Clark. Thank you.